Good afternoon. I'm Gwen Mitchell. Welcome to Moyo Minutes. Today we're continuing our series about the 7 chakras, and we're on the throat chakra, Vishuddhi. The color for the Vishuddhi chakra is blue. That word means pure or purification. The throat chakra is important because it serves as a bridge between the heart chakra and the mind. And when this chakra is in balance, we're able to communicate effectively with integrity, with authenticity. And when it's out of balance, the opposite is the case. So let's just take a look at some of the features of the Vishuddhi chakra. And by the way, it's pronounced Vishuddhi or Vishuddha, depending on what part of the country you're coming from when you learn this particular chakra. So we'll refer to it as a throat chakra for ease of reference. So what's important about it? All the chakras have a particular vibratory frequency, and we're constantly communicating to the field or to the matrix, I call it, based on what's going on internally. When we are in fear, for instance, we might find ourselves inability to speak our truth, inability to speak up, inability to defend ourselves. We might find ourselves excessively shy, and even sometimes going into a bit of depression. When the throat chakra is imbalanced, we are able to speak clearly, to listen attentively without worrying about getting our point in, or so busy paying attention to our own thoughts that we're not hearing the other person. And we're able to be in integrity with what we speak. For instance, when we make a promise, we're understanding that our word is our bond, and we are bound to keep that promise. Maya Angelou says it's important not only what you speak, the words that come out of your mouth. She says that words are things, and they create the world that we live in. So it's not only important the words that you speak, but also the words that you allow to be spoken in your presence. So I think that this is an important lesson, because often we think about it in terms of what we're saying, but also letting in that kind of conversation that's not productive is also not helpful. When this chakra is out of balance, for instance, we find ourselves telling lies, we find ourselves gossiping. And if you find yourself in any of those positions, know that it's pointing to the fact that your throat chakra is not in balance, and there's some level of fear going on, and that if that is not addressed, then it's coming out in these other ways. So one of the things to keep in mind is that communication is an absolute principle of life, that it is a connection for all of life. Without communication, nothing can survive. Think about the baby bird that's born. The one that squeals the loudest is the one that gets the worm, that gets fed first. So the same patterns happen in human experience as well. We say things like the squeaky wheel gets the oil, but it's always, a nod to the fact that communication is important. We see communication in the body. The body has to be in constant communication with itself. For instance, the heart communicates by pumping the blood through the body. And when we experience fear, we'll find that heartbeat going faster. And when we're experiencing love, that beat is steady and quiet and flowing, and the pattern is unrestricted. Our hormones communicate with our cells. Our brain waves communicate with our muscles and tissues. So communication is really a integral expression in the essence of life. The throat chakra actually governs the throat. It governs the jaws, the mouth, our tongue, also our ability to swallow, our larynx and our voice box. So all of these are governed by the throat chakra. And one of the lessons of this chakra is to teach us the nature and the power of the choices that we make. And so when we're not in balance, we can find ourselves making poor choices. And when we have this throat chakra in balance, our choices are better. This is not only about our expression, our communication to others, but it's also about our communication internally, our communication with the divine presence. When we're in our secret closet, in our sacred space, when we're alone and we're able to really pour our heart out, we can speak truthfully. And depending on how we relate to our divine, if we see our divine as a loving presence that's always supporting us and helping us to grow and to balance our needs, and we are able to articulate very clearly what our needs are and what our fears are, and start the process of bringing those things into balance. So when our throat chakra is in balance, we communicate with clear, truthful, honest communication. And I think you might have had this experience, but I know that I have. When someone is speaking very powerfully to me and speaking from a very truthful place, I can feel it resonating in my body. I can feel the hairs stand up when they're sharing something very powerfully. And, when this chakra is in balance, we're able to express our creativity through our voice, through singing, through writing songs, through poetry, and expressing our desire to receive guidance from the divine and assistance from the divine. So think more about your words and how you're using them, and about how they're creating the experience of life that you are having. For instance, you might ask yourself these questions. Am I generous and kind without thinking about what's in it for me? Do I believe I'll be punished or persecuted for speaking the truth? Do I react in anger or jealousy because I've been hurt or because I'm afraid of losing something? Am I the sinner or the instigator of the gossip circle? Or am I choosing to express words of loving kindness? Am I seeking to control others, or do I accept folks as they are and accept things that cannot be changed as they are, being with the what actually is going on? Am I bored? Am I angry? Do I lack the courage to make the changes that I want to make? Or am I continually postponing taking necessary action? Each of these statements or words emit an energy into the field, or into the matrix. It's either a field of love or a field of fear, and we're all a part of that. So I encourage you to take these affirmations into your consciousness. I can communicate clearly. I speak my truth freely, openly, honestly. I'm accountable for expressing myself clearly and truthfully. My honesty attracts honesty. My voice expresses my desires. And by expressing them, I'm able to receive. And I'm open to receiving. So let's just take a moment, and I will intone the Bija mantra for the throat chakra. Remember, the color is blue. It's located here. and the back of our throat. The tone is hung, and we have our hands in the mudra of index fingers, the tips, touching the midline on the thumb, and our fingers stretch forward, resting on our laps. So feel free to intone with me. Hung, hung, hung. Remember, the word Vishuddhi means pure or purification. And so when this chakra is operating at a balance point, there's pure energy flowing through it and clear energy, purified energy flowing through it. Let's chant 3 more. Hung, hung, hung. I communicate clearly. I communicate clearly. I communicate clearly. Let's chant the last 3. Hung, hung, hung. Feel that resonant vibration through your body. I am accountable for expressing myself clearly and truthfully. By voicing my desires, I am able to receive. Thank you for joining us today. Bring your hands together in the prayer mudra as we give thanks to our divine presence for this opportunity to come together and share this experience, to the God of our understanding, to our higher sacred self, to our teachers, our guides, all who help us on our spiritual path. We say thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti He. Peace within, peace outside, peace all around us. Ashe. Thank you for joining me. Tune in on Thursdays on Instagram at Cobiz Richmond Live. Instagram Live at Cobiz Richmond for the Chakra Dhyana meditation, where we go through all 7 chakras and raise the Kundalini energy, the life force energy, from the tip of the tailbone to the top of the crown. Thank you. Blessings. Have a wonderful day.